Yes. Yesterday we have discussed if statement. Today we'll try to continue the conditional statements. Okay. So here, if you look at the syntax of if-else statement, right? When the condition is true, it executes the if block. When the condition is false, it automatically gets into the else block. Then followed by next statements you will have, right? Fine. So it means when the condition is found to be true, it gets inside the if block and executes the instructions. And if the condition is false, the control will automatically gets inside the else block. Fine. When we look at the execution of if else from the syntax diagram point of view, we'll have the flowchart for the same. When the condition is true, it executes the if block, then comes onto the next statement, right? If the condition is false, it automatically gets into the else block, then comes onto the next statement, right? When the condition is true, executes the if block, then comes onto the next. So when the condition is true, it executes only this. It doesn't go here, directly comes here. When the condition is false, it automatically gets inside the else and then comes here, okay? That is what we have shown with the help of this diagram. Now let us demonstrate some programs using if else. Fine. Which we have done before using if. We can rather do it using if else as well. Basically, if else is a kind of Boolean statement. When you have only two possibilities, fine, two outcomes, fine, then this one is best suitable rather, right? For example, odd even program, if you take, right, there are only two possible outcomes. The number could be either odd or even, right? There is no other third possibility. In such cases, if else is quite suitable, right? Write a program to find number is odd or even using if else. Fine. Now if I have to write the program using if else, fine. How shall we write? First you write the main, you declare the variables, a number, let us say n or a, I just take it as n, and then to hold the remainder r, or else I can just take n, that's it. Okay, the number is even, right? You want to print the number also, you can just give the function specifier and then give the variable outside, right? Then what happens in place of this particular percentage d, n value will be displayed, whatever n you have inputted, that value then it will be said as is even, right? And in else part, right, you can say it is odd, right? Got it. So now you can look at the odd even program, which we have again written using if else. Fine, where you can see I have reduced the variables from 2 to 1. See, instead of holding the remainder after I divide n with 2, I can directly take that operation at the condition itself. So I can have expressions also in place of conditions. If I have expression like this, first expression is going to be evaluated, then the comparison will take place. It means if I have n mod 2, n mod 2 will be evaluated first, and the value out of it is nothing but the remainder out of it will be compared with 0. And if both are same, it means the remainder is 0, then you are printing that number is even. If this condition is false, obviously the remainder could have been 1, fine, then automatically it gets into the else block where you are saying the number is odd, right? So this is how you can write the program for odd even. Let us execute the same using online GDB, right? Online compiler. So in order to log in, I just say login, then say Google Plus. Since my mail ID is opened, I automatically gets logged into it, right? So now I want to start a new project. I can start with a new project. Already I'll get a skeleton of a new project. I can straight away take this code and then write the code. Then while saving, you can give the project name. That way also you can do it right? So the code which I have to write here is I need one variable n. Yes, and then I have to accept this number. So using scanf, I do that. Okay. Please, all of you write the program in online compiler and execute. Yes.
Executed, sir.
I've done this program at your side, but let me finish from my side also. So enter the number. What shall I do? Scanf. %d, comma, ampersand n, right? And then semicolon. Then I'm having if statement here. If n mod 2, right? N mod 2 double equals is a comparison operator equal to 0. Printf. If I have single statement, I need not to give the braces, okay? Printf. I want to print the number as well. So %b is even, right? If I want it to be on the fresh line, I just say new line operator \n, okay? And double quote comma here. What number I want to be printed? N, okay? So semicolon. Then I say else. Okay. And same thing I have to do. Only thing is I have to say odd. I copy it and paste it here. So even instead of even, now it has to be odd here. Okay. So my program is completed, right? So I've taken a number n. N is a variable to accept a number in it. Then I've accepted it through scanf. Then here using if else, we are trying to determine whether that number is even or odd. Here before we execute, we'll try to save this. Give this program name as odd even if else, right? Using if else it is, right? Odd even if else. Now I have to choose a language here before I go for execution. Language as G, then say run. So enter the number here. I can enter some number here. Let us say, for example, 76. Right? It is even. Yes, and let us execute again for another possibility. Let us say 97 is odd, right? So 97 is odd. So this is how I can use if else statement when I have only two possible outcomes, right? Generally, in case of Boolean conditions, we can best use this if else instead of multiple if. Okay. Advantage of having used the if else, against multiple if is when the condition is true, only one time the condition will be checked. right? If the condition is true, it executes this. When the condition is false, it directly executes else block. Earlier we have done the same program using multiple if, where condition again we have written here, right? If n mod 2 equal to 0, or again here we should have if n mod 2 not equal to 0. So in this case, again, what happens? Another time condition will be checked if the first condition is false. So condition checking will take a considerable amount of time. Fine. Efficiency of algorithm or program is estimated with respect to two parameters basically. One is time, another one is the space. Space is not a criteria nowadays because we have a lot of spaces available. Time is one important criteria, right? So the program can be written with multiple logics, different logics and different programming constraints. But at the same time, in order to judge a program to be optimal or an optimized one, or efficient one, we will judge it with time parameter, right? So the program which takes less amount of time, we say, is an efficient algorithm or program. So same odd even program which I have written before using if, multiple if, and here using if else. If you compare, if else takes a less amount of time. So I can say this one is efficient. Another thing is I have reduced one more variable. It means I have reduced the space also. The space is also, as I said, a parameter to judge the efficiency of the program. So I could reduce the space here, I could reduce the time. So from both the parameters perspective, I could reduce it. So I can say this is efficient than the multiplier. But that one is also fine. See, when you are able to reach the goal node or answer node from any solution, and you say it is a feasible solution. So this is also a feasible solution. The previous one was also a feasible solution. But out of these feasible solutions, this is the optimal solution, right? Generally, you can have more than one feasible solution for any problem, but optimal solution will always be one. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Similarly, you can now take some assignment on if else. I'm giving you assignment to find the entered year is leap or not, right? Okay, using if else. So I hope you can do it. You have done it using if before. So now you are going to execute the same using if else. Um, you can have nested if else. Okay, fine. Nested in the sense one within the another one, a ladder kind. Okay, you can have one if else within another if else, right? So that kind of approach is said to be nested if else. Nested if else or ladder kind. Okay. And if else within another if else. Okay, so here let us take one if else. If you have one condition here, condition 1, let us say, in this if I can have another if statement, right, with another condition. I can have another if again within this if. You can have multiple if like this. So then I can have an else for this if. Okay, then this if is terminated here, and then I can have another. I can have else for this if. In this else, I can have another if else here with, let us say, condition 3. Okay, I can have else for this particular if here, right? And then the termination of this else. Okay, so this way I can have. Here in this, syntax, you can see I have one outer if else. This is said to be the outer if else, right? So inside outer if I have another if else. Inside outer else I have another if else. I can have if else inside this if else. Again, I can have if else here in this else. I can have if else here. You can have multiple if else within if else. That way you can have any number of time. Fine. This approach is said to be the nested if else. For example, let us try to demonstrate this nested if else with one example. Write an algorithm. Okay, so here I just first give you the skeleton of this from algorithmic point of view, then we draw the flowchart for the same. Okay, so when you have 3 variables, okay, A, B, C, in order to judge or identify the greatest among these 3, how do you do that? You need to check whether A is greater than B. If A is greater than B is true, then you have to check A is greater than C as well. So how do you do that? You first write if A is greater than B, then you say whether A is greater than C as well. Then you can say that A is greater, right? So you can print. You can print saying that A is greater. Okay. Let us say this condition is false. What do you mean by it? See, till here, when do you come when A is greater than B? It means there is no question that B can be greater when you come inside, right? And this condition is false. It means when A is already greater than B, but A is less than C, it means C is obviously greater rather, right? So what do you say? Print C is greater. Yes or no? C is greater. Now, let us say this condition is false. Then you go to the else block, right? When this condition is false, what do you mean by it? It is B greater than A. It means when do you come to else part? When B is greater than A. You are sure that B is greater than A, but you need to ensure that B is greater than C as well. So you are checking that. If B greater than C is true, then you say that obviously B is greater. Yes or no? And let us say this condition is false, then you automatically get into the else part. Fine. When this condition is false, what do you mean by it? Obviously C is greater. Why? You came to else when B is greater than A. but B is less than C, it means C is obviously greater than both A and B, right? So you're going to print C is greater. Okay. So now let us draw the flow chart for this. Okay. Draw the flow chart for this. How do you draw the flow chart? You first you start, then you declare the variables A, B, C as, okay. Then what is the logic here? First you have to check A is greater than B. So how do you check the condition? With the help of diamond box, right? So if A is greater than B is true, if A is greater than B is true, then what is that you have to check again? A greater than C. It means when this is true again, you have to check another condition. Yes, or no? That is A is greater than C. And let us say this is also true. Then what do you print? Print A is greater. So here you are going to print A. Yes. Now let us say this is false. When it is false, you come to the else part. What do you print there? C is greater, right? So you say print C. Yes. So now let us say when this condition is false. When this condition is false, you go to the else part here, right? So in the else part again, you have to check whether B is greater than C. So it means you have to check another condition here, right? B is greater than C. When this condition is true, what do you print? You print B is greater, yes or no? Print B. Okay. See, in else part, when P greater than C is true, what you are printing? P is greater. When this condition is false, you go to else and then print C is greater, right? So when the condition is false, what do you print? You print C is greater, right? Then you will stop, right? See, this is a flow chart that I have drawn for the skeleton, right? Got it. So now you can write the program for the same. Okay. Go to online compiler. Go to online compiler here. Create a new project. You need how many variables? 3 variables, A, comma B, comma C. Then you are going to read 3 numbers. Enter 3 numbers. Is the font size legible? You can see, right?
Yes, sir.
I have increased the size a bit now. So now you're going to read three numbers with the help of scan function, right? So how do you read percentage D? Percentage D again, since you have three numbers to be read of integer kind, so 3 times percentage D, then double quote comma, ampersand A, comma, ampersand B, comma, ampersand C. Okay. So now you're going to write the code. If A is greater than B, okay, then inside this you are again checking another condition. If A is greater than C, then what do you print? Printf. Who is greater here? A is greater, right? So backslash n percentage D is greater. Which one is greater? A. So I have to print A here, right? Now, else part of this if, in the else part of this if, what is that I'm going to write? Who is greater? C is greater, right? So I say C is greater. Then this if part is closed. This if part is closed. Then the outer else. So in outer else, I'm having another if else, right? Yes or no? I'm having, yes. So if you want, you can have braces, otherwise also not required because it's a single statement. If else together is a single statement always, right? So in if there is a single statement, so this brace is not required, but even if you put, doesn't matter rather, right? Okay. When you have multiple statements, then you have to give the brace compulsory. So here, what is that you're going to check in inner else, inner if of outer else, B greater than C, yes? Because you come to else when this condition is false, it means B greater than A already confirm at else. Now you are going to check whether B is greater than C as well. Then you print that B is greater, right? And if this condition is false, then you come to the else part, where in else part you say that which one is greater, C is greater. That's it, right? So you can see this is one if else within this if, and there is another if else within this else. So this if else is an outer if else, and these are the inner if else. You can have like if else within another if else. This is said to be the nested if else, right? Concept. So I have written this program to demonstrate nested if else with an example greatest among three numbers. Okay, so language is already chosen as C. We just save this program as greatest among three numbers, right? Using nested if else, right? Nested if else. Now you can run the program. So it is asking for three numbers. See here I can give 23, 12 and 15. Say 25. Okay. So 23, 12 and 25. Which one is greater? 25 is greater. Okay. So I hope all of you could able to see this and executed the program at your respective compilers. Okay. So now I'm giving you one more assignment on this next fields. Please take the assignment here. So I will create the assignment in the